Good afternoon, friends. Satyam Vada Dharmachara Satyamev Jayate. Welcome to today's news desk on income tax, GST, and corporate laws. Let's start from the income tax. Ministry of Finance issued press release on 13th October 2020. In this press release, Finance Minister denies ET report that LTC voucher scheme isn't attractive for government employees. A report has been appeared in the Economic Times market, which has claimed that leave travel concession voucher scheme for government employee may not be attractive. The Ministry of Finance has clarified that such report is based on the erroneous assumption as the government LTC is quite different from leave travel allowance in the corporate sector. Next case, Jabalpur Tribunal. An order passed by the assessing officer not in accordance with the CBDT instruction is liable for revision under section 263 of the Income Tax Act. An order not made in accordance with an order, direction or instruction issued under section 119 is deemed to be erroneous and prejudicial to the interest of revenue, and not only is said instruction binding, not observing its mandate makes an assessment made in disregard thereof as infirm and accordingly liable for revision under section 263. Next case, Madras High Court, Proviso to section 50C inserted by Finance Act 2017 with effect from 1st April 2017 is applicable with retro effect. Amendment by insertion of the provisos to section 50C subsection 1 introduced with effect from 1st April 2017, which provide that where date of the agreement, fixing amount of the consideration and date of the registration for transfer of capital asset are not same, value adopted or assessed or assessable by a stamp valuation authority on date of the agreement may be taken for the purpose of the computing full value of the consideration for such transfer seeks to relieve assessee from undue hardship and thus should be taken to be retrospectively effect. Next case, Mumbai Tribunal. Benefit of section 54F exemption couldn't be denied while clubbing capital gains income of the minor. Income tax, where the assessee individual earn long-term capital gain along with his minor children on sale of the equity shares of the private limited company, and assessee explained that said sum was invested in capital gain account scheme for availing exemption under section 54F. Exemption of the capital gain could not be denied to minors, which was invested in the capital gain account scheme. Second decision held in this case, where the assessing officer denied exemption under section 54F to assessee by taking view that assessee was owner of more than one residential house on date of the transfer of the shares from which assessee earned long-term capital gains, but there was no clarity about the facts whether assessee owned any other residential house or not. In order of the assessing officer, it would be appropriate to restore this issue to file of assessing officer to decide issue afresh. Next case, Visakhapatnam Tribunal. Corpus specific voluntary contribution are exempt from tax even if it were received prior to section 12 AA registration. Voluntary contribution received by the assessee society for a specific purpose cannot be regarded as income under section 2 clause 24 2A. Next, Supreme Court decision. Supreme Court dismissed a special leave petition against ruling denying condonation of the delay as assessee failed to show any cognate reason. where the assessee sought for the condonation of delay of 4.5 years in filing appeal against order of the tribunal on ground of a element of manager, but High Court declined to condone delay on ground that there was nothing on record to show that manager was suffering from element which did not permit him to take initiative for filing of the appeal. A special leave petition against said decision was to be dismissed. Let's cover GST updates. AAR Gujarat Trust not liable for GST registration for carrying charitable activity which are exempt from the GST. Gujarat AAR held in this case that assessee charitable trust was established for the community-based research, policy analysis, planning and technical assistance for the purpose of enhancing prevention, mitigation and management of the disaster and reorientation of relief and reconstruction to local initiative. Assessee was duly registered as a charitable trust under section 12AA and 80G of the Income Tax Act. Thus, entire income of the assessee was exempt from the income tax. Even donation made to the assessee were admissible deduction for donor under section 80G, whether activities of the assessee being registered under section 12AA of the Income Tax Act were exempt from the tax under the GST Act by virtue of entry number 1 of notification 12 upon 2017 central tax rate dated 28 June 2017. In this case, decision is held yes, whether the consequently assessee was not liable to registration under GST Act in respect of the charitable activity relating to the preservation of the environment which attracted nil rate of the GST by virtue of the section 23(1)(a) of the Central Goods and Service Tax Act 2017. Decision held in the favor of the assessee as a yes. Next update on the GST portal. GST portal news: eBay bill generation facility to be blocked for the large taxpayer on non-filing of the GSTR 3B. The eBay bill generation facility will be blocked on the eBay bill portal after 15th October 2020 for taxpayer having aggregate annual turnover of more than 5 crore if they fail to file their GSTR 3B return for 2 or more tax period up to the month of the tax period of the August 2020. Gujarat Advanced Authority ruling: ITC is admissible on construction the ones which are used in the manufacture of the salt and bromine chemicals. Next, Gujarat Advanced Authority ruling: varnish used in the printing of the packaging material are classified under HSN 3208 attract 18% GST. Next decision, Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court stay interest and permitted to pay a profited amount in 6 monthly installments due to COVID-19 pandemic, where petitioner found guilty of the violating provision of section 171 and directed to deposit profited amount along with the interest notice was issued to respondent, and meanwhile petitioner was permitted to deposit principal profited amount in 6 monthly installments. Another news on the customs: CBIC issued circular prescribed measure for a smooth implementation of the faceless assessment under the custom. The faceless assessment under customs on pan-India basis is scheduled to be implemented by 31st October 2020. CBIC has identified the issue impacting the pace of assessment and clearance of consignment. To ensure timely assessment of the bill of the entry and clearance of imported assignments, CBIC wide circular has addressed the remedial measure of these issues. Let's cover news on the international taxation. Delhi tribunal. Sum received by the non-residents towards granting distribution right of the TV channel to Indian company is not a business income and not a royalty. In this case, Delhi tribunal held that advertisement and distribution revenue received by SSE, a US-based broadcasting company, for granting distribution right of product, channel, interactive entertainment services, entertainment, mobile telecommunication to an Indian company, whereby copyright is content always remains with SSE and at no point of the time same as transfer either to Indian company or to the sub distributor, and Indian company acted as an exclusive distributor of such right to cable operator and other permitted system on principal to principal basis, and broadcasting was sole responsibility of the SSE, and event content on the TV channel could not be changed by any party except for SSE, could not be taxable as royalty, albeit it was a business income of the SSE. It means sum received by the non-resident towards granting distribution right to TV channels to Indian companies is a business income and not considered as the royalty. Let's cover news on the FCRA. Ministry of Home Affairs issued public notice on 13th October 2020. And this press public notice, foreign contribution to be received only in designated FCRA account at New Delhi branch of the State Bank of India. All NGO or receiving foreign contribution from the foreign company, foreign country or foreign sources. For this is very important public notice, in which in this public notice there is especially instructed that foreign contributions should be received in FCRA account at New Delhi State Bank of India branch only. The Ministry of Home Affairs has amended Section 17 of the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act 2020 to 2010, to provide that every person who has been granted certificate of prior permission under Section 12 shall receive foreign contribution only in an account designated as FCRA account, which shall be open in the branch of the State Bank of India at New Delhi. Let's cover news on the company law. NCL 80, name of the company struck off from register of the company was to be restored as appellant was carrying on its business. Where name of the appellant company was struck off from the registrar of companies. However, it was found that appellant company was regularly carrying on its business as evidenced by the auditor's reports and financial statement. Name of the company was to be restored. Next decision, Madras High Court, Section 64, subsection 2 doesn't mandate cancellation or deactivation of the director and identification number of disqualified directors. Madras High Court held that in terms of Rule 11 of the Company's Appointment and Qualification of the Director Rules 2014 AQD rules, neither cancellation nor deactivation of the director identification number is provided for upon disqualification under Section 164 subsection 2. Where name of the appellant was included in a list of the disqualified director on ground specified in Section 164 subsection 2A, and director identification number of the appellant directors was consequently deactivated. It was held that AQD rules do not empower ROC to deactivate director identification number, and such deactivation could also be contrary to Section 164 subsection 2, read with Section 167 subsection 1, in as much as person concerned could concerned would continue to be a director of defaulting company, and therefore publication of the list of the disqualified director by registrar of company and deactivation of director identification number of appellant was to be quashed. Thank you so much for watching News Desk on income tax, GST and corporate law. We are covering Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, FEMA, international taxation, transfer pricing and other allied laws, so that you can get regular update on daily basis on my channel Education So Simple and our news desk. And you may also refer our all news desk in playlist name as a Daily News Desk, Income Tax, GST and Corporate Laws. Please share among the professional colleagues, lawyers, chartered accountant, company secretary, cost accountant, and a student who are in the study in the law, accountancy, finance. This will be very helpful for regular updation on the income tax, GST and corporate laws, and covering other allied law. Also, we are other background material on the income tax, GST, on the updation or various circulars. We have detailed coverage of these updates. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.